Okay, everybody, how are you doing? What's going on? Is everybody having a good spring or end of winter, whatever you want to call this?
Well, we went to the rodeo museum, so we're tired.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi there, kiddo.
Yeah. So I don't have very much today as far as news and you know house cleaning, but Apple did have an event on the 8th, and they introduced a new iPhone SE and a couple of other colors for other phones and whatnot.
I'm actually excited about the SE, if I can chime in.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I held off on the SE 2020 because it didn't have 5G, and I really want to buy for the future. But I just want the camera, and there is only a single camera, to be good enough for OCR. I'm not going to take a lot of fancy pictures. I'll leave that to my wife. It just needs to do OCR. I am, the lights went out 67 years ago. Well, they didn't really add light perception for a while, but I mean, it's like, it's got the A15 chip and it's got 5G conductivity when that comes online.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm presently using a 7 Plus. Okay. So I got that on December 1st of 16. It's really, 5 years and change, 5 years and 3 months. It's
good phone.
It's a good phone, but starting to get too funky. And I like the home button idea. I still do.
A lot of people do, including yours truly here. I like the home button more than not having the home button. Yes. So, and like John said, that's what they announced. They announced the SE3, I believe is what it's called, and 5G and A15 chip. And
I think they're calling it the SE 2022.
Oh, they are. Okay.
I stand behind it. I think it would only be there used to be SE phones was the designee between models. So 3, I guess, would have been.
Okay.
Well, now I think they're doing SE followed by the year. Seems to be the naming protocol.
All right. Well, then there it is.
Does it have a home button?
Yes.
It has a home button. And to answer your question, the cameras are fine, John. It's a 7 pixel, whatever it is, on the front and a 12 on the back.
Oh, there's only one. It said there's only one camera on the SE. It said there's only one camera on the SE 22.
No, there's 2. One in the front, one in the back. And the one in the back is the one that you use to do all your documents and stuff. And that'll be very powerful at 12.
Oh, then the post was misinformed or something. I have an article that says something.
Or maybe, John, you mean that there's one lens on the back instead of multiple lenses. Right?
Okay. Well,
that could be what's going on here.
It was a general article in the Washington Post, which I read courtesy of NFB Newsline. I read that every day on my computer. So It wasn't from the technical press, and it wasn't. I didn't see the Apple presentation.
Okay.
So there could be some imprecision. It was an article of general interest announcing or covering the event that Apple sponsored or put on, however many days ago it was.
Talk about the new phone.
Yeah. But long story short, it's a good phone. And if you're looking to upgrade, it's at a pretty good price for an iPhone. It's around 400 and change for the base unit. So
429.
419.
Yeah.
429.
Yeah.
Not right in the middle.
So I have the SE2. I bought the 2020 model, and I use that as my backup in case my iPhone 10, goes south on me. So that's what I'm using. And it works great. It's a little champ of a phone. So that's basically what I had to open up with. If anybody's got any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, or we can get to the first guy on our list. All right, so there's no questions. The first guy on the list is called BackTap. Has anybody ever heard of BackTap before?
I've heard of it.
What's that?
I just heard of it.
Okay. So what BackTap is it's a sensor that are in phones from, I believe, iPhone 8 and newer. And what it does, it allows you to either do a double tap or a triple tap on the back of the phone. It will then detect that gesture and it can take an action. So on mine, I've set mine to turn on the flashlight if I tap it on the back side of the phone. So I'm going to point the flashlight towards the camera and then tap it with my finger, one finger twice. And you'll see, for those visual people, you'll see the light come on. And then if I tap it twice again, it'll toggle it back off. So here we go. Let's give that a shot. So I'm going to do that now. I don't know if it came on. Come on. Don't make a liar out of me. Hang on. Hang on a second. Maybe I got to be logged in. Yeah, let's try it again. Yeah, there it goes. So you got to have your phone on. It's got to be on. I mean, you can't be on the lock screen when you do this. And then if I double tap it again, it should turn it off. And there's a triple tap gesture you can do too and assign something to that. So what I want to do is I want to show you where that is. If your phone supports it, it will be there. If your phone doesn't support it, it won't be there. So we need to go to settings. And then the next thing we're going to go to is accessibility. That's the next piece. Accessibility. And I believe it's under touch.
Hi, Sherry. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Okay, so just call the landline. My
Yeah, tab.
landline
It's the last thing on mine.
is,
Yes. So just like Annie said,
298
in the touch
2467.
menu under accessibility, it's the very bottom thing.
Yeah.
If your phone supports it, you're going to see something called
298
back tap.
2467.
For you visual people, I got my finger right next to what it looks like on my phone. Okay. So you'll go into there and you have two options. What happens when you double tap the back? And then what happens when you triple tap the back? By default, they're both set to nothing. Now, I've already set the double tap, as you can see, like we'll do it one more time. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the triple tap and set that. And I'm doing that so you can see some of the options. I won't go through all of them, but there's a lot. So I'm going to set something to happen when I triple tap the back of the phone. So let me do that
Oh, yeah.
now.
It has what you can do.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of stuff. Well, I'll just pick one. Let me turn up my phone so you guys can hear what it's saying. I just forgot to do that.
Hi.
Accessibility shortcut.
Okay.
You can access the accessibility shortcut menu.
Can
Let's
you
see
hear
what
it?
App switcher.
Huh?
The app
Can
switcher.
you hear it okay, Shirley?
So if you do a triple tap, you assign it and you do a triple tap, you can then see what apps are running and then you can switch them off or switch to them. That's kind of cool. Let me just, instead of going through them all, let me just pick something that we can demonstrate here. Let me see.
Can you hear Manny okay?
Control center. Flashlight.
Hunter.
Home. Lock rotation. Lock screen. Notification center.
Let's do control center.
Control center.
Because typically with control center, you have to do this nice sliding gesture.
Right.
And for people who are not, where gestures are a little bit harder to do, this kind of makes it really, really work better. So I'm going to set it to control center. And when I triple tap the back, control center should come up. So I'm going to set that now by double tapping on control center.
Selected. Control center.
And then I'm just going to hit the back button up on top to make sure that it did get assigned.
Back tap. Back tap.
So now
Triple tap. Control center.
triple tap
Button.
control center. So if I triple tap the back, the control center should come up. So I'm going to point the phone towards you guys and show you how I'm triple tapping the back. So I go 1, 2, 3.
Control center.
And then
Airplane
control
mode.
center just came
Switch
up.
button. Off. Double tap and hold to show
So-
more controls. Double tap to
What it is really,
settings. Touch.
it gives your phone some new functionality on the back of the phone that we never use. It actually uses the back of the phone with a sensor back there to detect taps. And then it's like a virtual button that you can, using the whole back as a button. So I thought that was kind of neat. And it works for me with the flashlight, instead of having to open it up or get to the lock screen, find the find the flashlight thing and do that, or ask Siri to turn it on, I can just tap the back real quick and get the flashlight. So
Mine won't do it.
here's one.
I don't want to do it either.
What did you do? I'm sorry, Annie.
It won't do it. I set control center for the double tap and it doesn't do it. It says it's set for control center.
Okay, then that's something I don't know how to fix because it should do that.
But you can see it's set for
Maybe tap it a
control
little harder. Try a little harder just for fun. Don't worry, it's tough. You can tap it pretty hard. So
How fast do you have to do it?
it's like a boom boom, like that kind of speed. Nothing?
No, I don't want to break my finger.
Okay.
No, it doesn't do it. It says it's set.
Well, it should do it. What we can do is offline, I can call you after not tonight,
No,
but
not
Yeah.
tonight.
another day, and we can go diagnose that. But
Okay.
that's all I did on mine was just set it, tap it, and it worked. So there must be some weird thing going on. You could reset your phone and try it again while we're in the meeting, see if it actually works after you reset your phone, maybe.
No.
Sometimes resetting the phone fixes things like that.
Yeah. No, let's don't do that now.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the back tap feature?
You can set your home button there if you don't have one.
That's right. There are a lot of settings. That includes customized things like, well, there's a lot of things you can set it to. There's some built-in stuff, and then you can do some customized stuff too. You know, so that really works really well. And I thought that would be a handy thing. So if you have a phone that doesn't have a home button and you want to use the back of your phone instead, you could set your back of your phone to double tap and it'll go to the home screen. So that's always a good option. So let's see what the next thing is here.
Recording phone calls.
Okay.
Actions available.
So I was talking to John a little bit about this before the class, because John is obviously a lawyer, and I wanted to make sure that I'm not telling you guys something wrong, okay?
Ooh,
So this is about recording phone calls. Now, a lot of people record phone calls because maybe the doctor has some verbose stuff and you don't want to read the paper. You know, there's lots of good reasons to record a call. But you should always
Settings. Tab.
let the other person know, or persons know, when you're recording.
Voice
It's
off.
good ethics, and you know you have to put yourself in their shoes. And you don't want someone recording you without you knowing, so you probably shouldn't do that to anybody else. But that's kind of where my take is on that, because I don't want to tell you guys to do the wrong thing, you know. So there are a few ways to record a phone call. There's the low-tech way. You get like a little separate device that does recording, and you set that device to record. You do your phone call, put it on speaker, and then the audio from the phone call is coming out of the speaker of the phone and being picked up by the microphone of the recording device. That's very easy. They have apps out there that will allow you to record a phone call, and what they do is they bring in a three-way calling situation, and the person or the thing that's on the third leg of the call is the recording device. So and then finally you can buy stuff that you can plug into your phone, like headphones or earbuds that have a little recording device on it, and you can record whatever coming into the earphones and being picked up by your phone. So Apple does not offer that natively. I mean, they could easily do that, but I think they're worried about the legalities of putting that in there and then getting maybe sued for having that in there. So that's why I just wanted to show you this option in case you needed to record a phone call for whatever reason, you know. So like I said, there's three ways, and I think, you know, if you wanted to get something, just buy like maybe these earbud things with the recording option, and of course let the other party know that you're recording them, obviously. And then of course, if you get an app that usually you have to pay for, that app, like this Zoom call, this Zoom class, when John hit the record button, it said meeting is being recorded or whatever it said. It let everybody know. And that's kind of what you got to do with phone calls to, you know, to stay on the right side of the law and ethics and things like that. So I just wanted to bring that up. So has anybody got any questions about recording a phone call or the legal things tied to that? Okay. Oh, good. That was easy. I was expecting questions that I couldn't answer.
Easier than you thought.
Yeah, I thought I'm gonna have to get John to help me answer some questions. So, okay.
Like
John,
I
did
said,
you-
look, since everyone might not have been here, look, it varies from state to state. There probably is a federal law applicable to it, but notice how when you call up customer service, they always say, this call may be recorded for training purposes or something. They're letting you know that it may be recorded, maybe it isn't. And the fact of the matter is that the person who is going to give you information, the teleservice provider, the customer service representative, doesn't even know whether the recording is going on or not, because, you know, if the guy wanted to get in your face and curse at you and swear at you, he just kill the recording. You know, they're doing it to monitor his performance. So he doesn't control the switch, but even where there's just a possibility of you being recorded, you're put on notice. So again, it's ethics, and there's probably a federal law, but I couldn't tell you what it is.
Well, thank you, John. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for an app to do it, where we were talking about you launch the app and the phone call, and then it brings in a recording device on a three-way conversation. Normally those cost, there's one in there called Tape My Call, and there's a bunch of apps that do that, but they usually charge you something to do that, and some of them offer transcriptions and whatnot. But that's kind of what I had for recording phone calls, you know, kind of that. So if there aren't any questions, I'll go to the next thing. Let me see here.
Google app.
All right, so you know how you can look up stuff with Google? You can go to Safari, or you can go, I don't know,
That was
to
me.
anything,
My thing does that sometimes.
and any browser, and look up stuff using Google. Well, Google offers an app as well, and it's a really good app, by the way. And the way it works is that you bring it up, and it has a little search bar in it, and you could type stuff in, you can dictate. There's also a voice search microphone that you can just tap on that and say something, and it finds it. And then the beauty of the app is that you can see all kinds of stuff related to your search. So let me bring that app up and show you what I mean. So here we go.
6:59 p.m.
Okay. All right. So, hey Siri, open Google.
Google.
All right. So Google's coming up, and what you get is it puts you right on the search bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe over to the voice search, and I'm going to look for something. Let's see.
Voice search button. Speak now.
Kangaroo.
According to Google, a new tab was just created. GCDO. CD is tooltip dismissed.
So what it does is it looks for kangaroos. So you say, okay, what's so big about that? No big deal. It'll pull up, you know, sites related to kangaroos. But what the beauty of this app is the tabs on top. And let me explain. So you have all. That's where we're at now. You can see everything, or you can see filtered results. So the next tab over.
News button.
News about kangaroos.
Selected. News.
So if I go down in the list, and I just go on the first one. Here's what it sounds like.
Town and Country magazine, Queen Elizabeth's complicated relationship with Prince Andrew 2 days ago. Link.
So let me slow that down a little bit. I think it's going too fast.
Words, lines, speaking rate, 45%.
Okay.
The News International, Prince Andrew looks downcast after royal snub 6 hours ago. Link.
I'm not sure what that has to do with kangaroos, but okay, let's keep going.
Image. Selected. Images.
Oh, wait, it didn't do it right. Hang on, let me do that again. Sorry.
Andrew. Heading.
Oh, sorry. Let me try that again. Instead of kangaroo, it looked for Andrew. Oops. Okay, here we go.
Andrew.
That explains it. Okay, hang on.
W-E-R-D-N. Tip cap 8.
All right, let me just do kangaroo. Kangaroo.
Inserted kangaroo.
So we're gonna search for that.
Search. Kangaroo. Kangaroo. Heading.
So if I go to all,
All. Button. All.
this is what comes up there.
Image result per the kangaroo is a marsupial from the family Macropodidae.
Okay, so it gives a definition, and there's probably a whole lot of stuff under that. But what I was trying to show you before, when I had the wrong search term in there, is
Images.
images.
Button selected. Images.
So for your visual folks, it just tiles the screen full of images of kangaroos. You know, if I put my finger on one,
Kangaroo facts and photos. Button.
so there's something there. And then we'll go to
Videos.
videos.
Button selected. Videos.
So there's a video list of kangaroos. We go in there,
The kangaroo is the world's
and then a video will start.
heading. The kangaroo, one of Australia's most recognizable marsupials.
So there's that.
Full of species. Close full screen. Back Google. Kangaroo news. Button.
And there's
Selected.
news here. So
News.
hopefully now we'll get some kangaroo specific news.
New York Post buff kangaroo goes viral after flaunting giant muscles at Wildlife Center 4 days ago.
I don't know what that's all about. And then we have, let me see here,
Shopping. Button.
shopping.
Selected.
This is really cool.
Shopping.
I mean, you got all these tabs that just focus on just what you search, and it's a really neat app. So if I tab one or put my finger on one of these guys that it brings up,
Ads.
let me see, hang on, where's it?
What do you do with the kangaroo? Audiobook. Link.
So it's an audio book that's for sale, shopping. And then is there anything else? I thought there was another tab. Really can't see this for a while. No, I guess that's it. So you get all kinds of stuff just for one search term, all under one app, one roof. You don't have to scroll through a bunch of links on a page or this and that. I mean, it's a really good app. I'm really impressed with it. And of course, you know, kangaroo is just one thing. You can look for anything in the world that you can think of, and it'll give you all of this stuff filtered and listed in a way where you can find stuff. So yeah, so any questions on the Google app? Or and it's a free app on the App Store. It's just called Google. That's all. That's what it's called. All right. So let me see what's next on my list. We're going pretty fast here. That's good. Let's see here.
Vision AI.
Okay, so there's an app that I really like that Barbara turned me on to. It's kind of a Seeing AI alternative, and it's called Envision AI. Now, Envision makes glasses, and this little application will work with those glasses. There's a whole glasses section. So let me demonstrate how this program works. Okay, just open it up. Hey Siri, open Envision AI. And here it goes. So there's a big viewfinder screen on the top. I'm just going to kind of do a description of what it looks like. And there's usually a set of buttons towards the bottom. They're big buttons that go all the way across the bottom of the screen. And then of course there's a tab bar at the bottom. So when you first open the app, you're on this first tab down here, and it's called
Tab bar. Selected. Read tab.
So that's OCR. That means it reads text. So if I go into one of these buttons here,
Instant text button.
instant text allows me to do
Speaks
like,
out text instant heading not found.
it allows me to do a whole lot like Seeing AI does with short text, same kind of thing. The next button,
Scan text.
scan text, will allow you to do multiple pages. So you can scan a page and then you can scan another page and it'll let you do multiple pages until you get done. And then what's this last one?
Library.
Oh, and then library is when you store the text out into files. So for the short, for this first part,
Instant text.
instant text, I'm gonna get
Speaks
a
out text instantly.
piece of mail that just right from my mailbox. Let me see if I can get my hands on this here. So I got a piece of mail here for you visual people. It's right in front of the camera. And I'm going to go to this little text thing and see if I can read who it's from, because maybe it's junk mail. I have no idea. So I'm gonna double tap on that button,
Instant text.
instant text,
Button. Instantly read text. Back button.
and then I'm going to I was going to do this. What's this?
Instantly read text. Turn on offline instant text. Offline instant text. Reading text. Language detail. Continue.
Okay, continue.
Magnifier. Selected. Instant text. March 3rd, 2622 Waspastag 0000482. Preferred language. English.
Hang on. This thing is starting to go
ADA.
crazy.
Capital T. Library. Scan text. Selected. Instant text.
Try this again. Okay. Instant text.
Instant text. City of Tucson Department of Transportation Transit Services Division 8 149 and Stone, 2nd floor. P.O. Box 27,210 Tucson. As a selected.
So that's good.
Instant text. Scan text. Portal information. Capture a dot. Take photo. Button. Magnifier. Button.
Hold on.
Intelligence are visible. Back. Button.
Okay. So it read, sorry about all that, but it did read who it's from. And it's from the ADA to me. I have no idea what's in it, but that it read the person it's from. So that worked out really well, and it read it right away. I didn't have any
That's
focusing.
your renewal for Sunban.
Is that what that is? Hey, Barbara, you sure you got vision issues? I'll have to open it up and check it out. I'm sure that's what it is. So now besides text, it also recognizes objects. And don't worry, we're going to get to the real cool thing here with that. So to recognize non-text, you go to
Tab bar. Identify. Tab.
identify, I think is what it's called. Let's go there. Let's try that.
Selected. Selected. Describe scene. Button. Detect colors. Button. Scan barcode. Button.
Oh, that does the barcode.
The description of a
I'm not
product.
going to show you that here because that's just zapping a barcode, and it works just like Seeing AI. It's no big deal. The thing that I wanted to show you that's different than Seeing AI is over here in this other tab. This is tab. So we were on the home thing.
Tab bar. Read.
Read,
Tab. Selected. Identify.
identify,
Tab. Find. Tab.
find.
3 5. Selected. Find people. Button.
So find people.
Text if there are people.
Well, will tell you if there are people around you, and if you've taught it to recognize, let's say Annie, and you move the phone around just like Seeing AI, and it sees Anne, it'll tell you Anne is over there. Anne is right in line of sight of the phone. But there's another thing I wanted to show you that's really cool.
Find objects.
Find objects. This is really neat. And,
Locate specific.
and now what it does, you can tell it to look for a cup or look for a dog or look for a cat. And you move the phone around you and it doesn't tell you anything until it sees what you're looking for. That's different than Seeing AI. Seeing AI just tries to describe the scene and tells you what's in the view. So I'm going to try this. I'm hoping that, yeah, I have a solo cup here, a red solo cup, and I want to see if it can find it.
Find objects. Button. Favorites. Heading.
So there's a whole list of objects, and you
Select an object.
can add more to that list. So I'm going to use cup. Let's see where cup is here.
Bottle. Laptop. Cup.
There's cup.
Double tap to finding a cup.
So I'm going to put the cup in front of the camera so you can see it. My phone is pointed away from it. Watch what happens when I rotate my phone where the camera can see the cup. Check this out. I think. It's making a noise. I don't know if you can hear it. That means it found the cup. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That means it found a cup. If I turn
Yes,
it away,
it does, Shirley.
if I turn that away, the sound stops. If I put it back on the cup, it makes a noise again. So it's really cool for finding stuff. So I thought you guys might like that one.
And my glasses, that would be good.
Shirley wants to ask you a question. Yes, Shirley?
Can't hear her.
Will it read the labels in front of a CD?
Will it read a label? I'm sorry, could you say that one more time, Barbara? I'm sorry.
Say it one more time, Shirley. Okay, well, envision read what's on the front of the CD. CD.
Yeah, if there's text there, yes. If not, I think it would have to try to describe it. That's all it could do. I don't know if that answers the question.
So the answer is yes. If there's any text on it, it'll read it.
Yeah.
Okay, the only problem you have with this app is you have to sign in with a username, a password, and your email, and then it sends you an email, and then you have to tap on that email.
Requested.
That's the only problem with setting it up, but it's a free app.
Yeah,
But you only do that once when you set it up.
Correct.
right. Now the last tab that that's on this thing, it's called the Glasses tab.
Glasses. Tab.
And what that is if you have their glasses, which I don't know what they look like. I don't know how you get them. They can Bluetooth to this app, and you can use your eyes to look at things instead of pointing a phone. That's what I imagine it is. It's a camera with a Bluetooth capability, and it just takes the image and sends it to your phone via Bluetooth. And your phone will detect it just like if it came from the camera in the back of the phone. So it's a really good app. It does really good recognition. And I really like that feature where you can find specific objects like the cup. I thought that was really cool.
Manny,
Yeah.
it's Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
Hi.
Yeah.
When you set up that app, can you use keychain on that, or do you have to do it the old-fashioned way?
I believe Keychain will automatically, wherever there's a password, try to remember it for you. That's my understanding of Keychain. If it doesn't, that would be very odd.
So just tap into it, tap it, and keychain will pick up on it.
Yeah, usually Keychain will automatically store the password, and sometimes it'll even suggest a strong password if it thinks it needs to be a strong password there in whatever app it is or website or whatever. So yes, the answer is yes.
Okay,
So yeah,
thank you.
yeah, sure. Any more questions about this Envision app? Does anybody also anybody know about the Envision glasses at all? Because I've never seen them. I have no idea what they look like or how they work. I just assume they're just regular glasses. So I guess what I can do is put a pin in that one and maybe look into that if anybody's interested and see what the glasses cost and what they actually do with this program. I didn't research that far into it. So
What are they supposed to do, Manny? It's Maggie again. What, I mean, you say they work with this.
yes, so there's a tab on this application at the very bottom. I went through like 3 tabs, and the fourth one is called Glasses. And what happens is the glasses work with the app directly, and whatever the glasses see, it sends to the app, and then the app does its thing, its recognition thing. But and I'm assuming these are just normal size glasses. They're not big goggles or headset or whatever. You know, I'm assuming they're smaller glasses with a small camera in there. So, anyway, that's what I'm going to look into and see what that costs. Maybe for the next class, I'll have more information on the glasses piece. See what if that's even worth it in my book. So, okay. Well, if there's no more questions, I'll go to the next item. Let's do that there.
Calendar, Tuesday, March.
Let's see what we got here. What's next on my list?
Contact names beginning with A.
Okay, so Barbara gave me a great idea in one of our classes. And you know how you go into your contacts and you always have to, like if you're looking for a contact and they're down in the M's, you would just love to open up your contacts and they just sort right to the top, even if it's like an M instead of an A or a Z. Well, you can trick it out. And what you can do, if you're sorting ascending A to Z, before your contact name, you can just put an A and a space before it. And that will sort them right to the top of your contact list. If you're a visual person and you'd rather see it that way, that's a way to do it. But just one note on that, whenever you change the name of a contact, when you call them, text them, or email them, you got to make sure you include that A in the very beginning. So like if I were to do that with Barbara McPherson, I would have to go A and then space Barbara McPherson. And when I wanted to call her, it would sound funny. I would say, call A Barbara McPherson, and it would actually call her. But her name would sort to the top, you know.
Well, how I used it is I put A next to kin and next kin, and then I put Hunter underneath it.
Oh, okay, okay.
So if something happened, to the first thing they would see on my contact is Hunter.
Yeah, so it's a great way to sort something visually. Of course, you can always, you know, if you're not using your eyes to find this stuff or have to have it on top, you could just, you know, search for contacts, but that takes a little more to do. You know, you got to go and search and then dictate it in and then all this good stuff. So having them sort to the top right away and getting to them right away might be of value for some people, you know, to not have to do all the other stuff to get to a contact, especially if you've got a lot of contacts.
But the thing is, Manny, it's Maggie again.
Yeah,
Siri will just do that for you. You know,
right.
you just tell Siri who you want to talk to and bang.
That's right. This is, you know what this is, Maggie? This is a good thing if you're looking at your contacts or you want the contacts to be right on the first page of what you're doing and you don't want to go down the screen. It's sort of more of a visual kind of thing. But not exactly, but just to have all the contacts with an A on top. It's kind of a weird way to do it, but it does work. You know, you could also.
I'm lazy. I just use Siri.
Yeah, you can do that too. So 6 of this, half a dozen of another. It all works. So.
Well, that's if you wanted to call, you use Siri, but if you wanted to know the rest of what I have, birthdays on some contacts, addresses, email.
Yeah. And the problem, and you brought up a good point, Ann, you know, the problem with is that Siri is not allowed to really do much with contacts. You can't add a contact, you can't edit, you certainly couldn't delete. So it would probably be very hard to get extended information about a contact, you know, with Siri. You can get some stuff, but maybe not the extended information. So having it sorted to tap into it quickly might be of value to a lot of people. So.
But you could only do that with 1, 2, or 3 of them. You can't put A in front of all your contacts.
That's true. That's right. Because then it doesn't make a difference. You're right.
What
We'll
about
all be
A.1, A.2?
And then you have to remember it. Then you have to remember it.
Yeah. But then you got to remember, like Ann says, was that A.25 Barbara McPherson? Or is that A1.2 Barbara McPherson?
You're right. But if you enter them in alphabetical order, you know, A, Barbara McPherson, A, Hunter McPherson,
Right.
then it wouldn't be so difficult.
You want to do it for a select few, and you just want them to sort up to the A section. That's what this is all about. Or if you have a
Right.
regular sort,
Sure.
you would do Z instead of an A. Yes. Yeah.
I'm lazy. I use Siri.
Just another way, just another thing to do, you know. So, all right. So if there's no more questions, I'll go to the next guy. Let's see here.
Letter by letter dictation.
Another thing that Barbara and I went over was letter by letter dictation. So most of the dictation I've ever shown you here has been complete words and sentences. But sometimes you need to put in a web address, or you need to put in your email address. Well, you could dictate your entire email address, but you have to do it letter by letter. So I'm going to pick on Barbara today. Sorry, Barbara. So if you wanted to send something to Barbara and you didn't have her as a contact, you said, you know, you would have to go BJMAC, you know, on and on at AOL.com. And then that would put each letter in one at a time and smack them together as if you typed them in. So that's something to remember. If you're on Safari and you want to type in a web address like TucsonSocietyOfTheBlind.org, you would say each letter, TUCSONOF, and then on, .org. And then once you get done, you hit search or enter, whatever it is, and then it just comes up. So that's another way of dictating individual letters for words that are not in a dictionary that it can check. Because what dictation does, when you say see spot run, it finds these words in a dictionary. And if they're all there, it puts them in. And it's not going to put in a misspelled word because it's checking a dictionary against your speech to put it in. So to manually override that and put in just individual letters, that's how you do it. And somehow
Maggie,
doing it. Yeah, go ahead.
it's Maggie again.
Yeah.
I found that sometimes, for instance, I get laryngitis and Siri does not understand when I'm asking. And if you spell it, or if it's a foreign word, Siri will put it in for you.
Right. And that's tough because if you do have a speech issue, it could be anything, you know, or if you have a cold, Siri barely understands you when you're clear and your diction is perfect, okay? And your cadence is perfect. So what you got to do, this is what I tell all my students, okay? When you dictate, just pretend you're dictating to a child. Make it over enunciate if you have to. You'd say, I want to go to the store, period. You do that and you put 4 spaces between the words, and then it always works. But if you say, I want to go to the store, period, it's going to sound like mush when it gets dictated in there because it's not going to follow you that fast. It's just not that smart. So you have to over enunciate and be as clear as you can. Make sure your S's are singing and your T's have nice t sound. D's the same way. One letter sound like another. You know, it's a good practice for you how you speak. It helps you pronounce things clearer for other purposes too. That's what I've learned in my travels with this. So.
Manny, I want to mention, like when I email Annie sometimes on the phone, I don't have to put her whole name in. I'll just do ANNIE, and then it'll come up with the search result with her whole name. So you don't have to dictate.
Yeah, good point. If you have that person in your history, or you have a contact named Annie, as soon as you start dictating the first 2 or 3 letters, Annie's going to be right there. It's going to come right
under the search result.
That's right. And then you'll just choose the correct Annie if there's more than one. And then, so it does a contained in search too. It could be Annie, it could be Melissa Ann, wherever the Ann exists in a contact name, it'll show you all the results. So it does a contained in, not a beginning with kind of search. So that's it for the dictation thing, unless we got questions. And if not, I will go to the next thing here. Let me see. All right, so does anyone here keep a diary or journal, or they journal or anything like that? Because I found an app that does that pretty good. So nobody?
Keep an appointment
Not,
book.
not
Is that
anymore.
what you-
So if you're ever into having a private diary, you know, and since we lost our vision, writing in a diary is not as fun as it used to be. They have apps, and this is just one of them. And what it does is you can just record every day, either your voice, or you can dictate into it, or you can do a video, whatnot. And it's called Day One. And it was rated a #1 app, I think last year by Apple. It's very well designed. It's very well laid out. There's a free version that allows you to put in entries of text, dictating text. And there's a paid for version that opens up everything, including audio and video all the way. Barbara, did you know any more about that than what I said, or did I say it
Well,
properly?
it's very handy, and journaling is good. You know, especially if you're angry, emotional.
Mhm.
It's wonderful therapy, and as long as you're under 10 minutes, and you could start a new journal after your 10-minute entry, it will convert it all to text. So you could go back and you could send it to somebody if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. I was surprised how clear it was. I tried it and listened to it the next day, and it worked pretty well. I was surprised. So
I-
I think the free version is just fine for what we need. Now if you get the premium, it's $30 a year, then you can leave like a legacy. So at that point, if you wanted to put photos with your journal, you could add photos. You set up an email, and then you send your photos to that email. So that's when he's talking about the videos and the photos.
And what it does, you know, so you go into it today, and it's March 15th. That day comes up, and you can just hit a button to add a new thing into your
It just says record. It's
Record,
real
yeah.
easy.
and you do it, and then it just shows it right there as the latest entry in today's stuff. And you can have a bunch of them, and then you can always look back later at a previous day and see what you were thinking, just like in a regular paper diary. It's really cool. I mean, I can show it to you, but it's just that there's not much to show, except it's going to record it. Then I'll put my finger on and say, there it is, you know, but it's in a list for each day. And there's a lot of options that I can't really explore without the paid for version, but it's laid out really nice. It works well with voiceover. And if you're into journaling or diaries, it's definitely a top contender that you should consider. You know, if you're going to write your memoirs, that's a good thing to keep them for your book.
That's kind of scary though, because if you ever lose your phone, or if anybody decides to go in, I don't know, I'm kind of paranoid about privacy.
It's everything you put in there is encrypted.
Right. So, in fact, that's one of the selling points of this. It's encrypted, and it's also encrypted and backed up on Apple's encrypted network. So the chances of it getting out are slim and none. I mean, it could. I mean, but why would anybody want your diary? Why would anybody try to get your diary? They'll probably try to get your credit card information. But the thing is, you're right, Annie. It needs to be private, and this program, this app says that you feel like you're no longer in this place where everybody's watching. You can see you. You feel like you're in a private place in your own diary, and it's just yours. It gives you that feeling because it's so secure. So it is kind of nice in that respect to be able to just have your own thoughts between just you and and you know, just you, instead of it, you know, being potentially out there. in the
So you need a password every time you go on it?
Well, your phone is password protected. I don't know
Okay.
if you can password protect the app, but I know that the stuff is encrypted, meaning that it's all scrambled. No one can get to it. Even if they could get your file, let's say they could get your files, there's no way to read it without the key, and the
Okay.
key's not there.
But they could if they open the phone.
If they could open your phone as you, yeah, if they Face ID into it and somehow, or they use the thumb, or they type in your code, well, yeah, they could go into your journal because you could do the same.
Well, they go into anything then.
Right, anything on your phone. So that's why if you have anything that's worth protecting, you should have a password, even better, like a Face ID or a thumbprint.
Yeah.
Then, of course, back it up to the iCloud just in case. Because what happens if you use your phone and you have a code in there, even just a 4-digit code, and this has happened to a few of my students. If you try to put it in too many times and you put the wrong code in, what it does, it'll disable the phone completely, and that person can't get in there by brute force. It just gives you so many times before it disables the phone. But you could get into your phone, absolutely get into it, but no one else could. So there's that.
How about,
Go
how
ahead.
about these hackers, though, that seem to be able to get into anything?
Well, yeah, I mean, hackers can get into stuff, but it's kind of like if you think about your home, okay? If you leave the door unlocked, you don't put a passcode or a lock on it, well, some bad people will try to get in. So what you got to do, that analogy works for your digital world too. You want to, don't go crazy locking every little room up, but at least lock the front door. And that way they can't get in. You know, data can always be gotten. But the question is, why would they want it? You know, why would they want like your diary or something? If we're talking about, but other data might be, you know, worth them trying to get. You know, like your credit card information, social, or whatever. But if you don't keep that stuff on your phone, then there's nothing to worry about there. So, I know it's not a solid answer. It's not a ironclad saying it's safe. Nothing's safe, but you can make things safer, just like your home. It's not 100% safe either, but you can make it safer with bars on your windows, locks on your doors, and, you know, lights, things like that. That's my analogy, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Any questions on the journaling diary app? Okay. Let's go to the next thing.
Oh, Danny, one question about the diary.
Sure. Sure.
How big is it, or how long does it keep it? Is there any limit to that?
No limit.
It can't be longer than 10 minutes.
Oh, you're talking about audio, but you mean,
But I mean the total wordage. Would it be a book or 2 books or
oh, it's
whatever?
no limit. And I haven't heard of the limit. So whatever your phone can store. So if you've got 64, 128 gigs on your phone, most of that's free. Well, you could have a party, just record
Okay.
videos, audio, and you'll never fill it up. So yes, the app can handle large amounts of data. All right, so let's see here.
PBS Videos app. Actions available.
So an app that Barbara went to that I really like is PBS, Public Broadcasting System.
7:35 p.m.
Let me get over there.
Calendar.
Hey Siri, open PBS.
PBS Video. Profile and settings. Button.
So it's opening up. It's called PBS Video, by the way. I'm not sure if you can stream videos while I'm on the video call, but let's see. You know, the worst thing can happen, it'll just kick me off. But this is an app that shows content.
Manny, you're echoing a lot.
Okay. I don't know where I'm echoing. Let's see. Okay.
Now you're good.
Okay. So this app is like any other streaming app. It will, it has channels at the bottom, and you can look at videos. You can look at the news hour thing. You can look at Amanpour. You know, you can look at all these shows that are on PBS. In fact, the first tab on the bottom is this one,
Tab bar. Selected. Home. Tab.
the home tab.
1 of 5.
So the first guy up top here is this.
Home screen feature videos. Frontline. Putin's Road to War. 1
So,
of 4.
Frontline, Putin's Road to War. If I tapped on that, that program would then play on the phone. So you can see it on TV when it's broadcast, or you pick and choose on their app, and it's all free, you know. So what I'll do is let's go through each tab real quick and not go into too much detail, but just enough to, you know, to get you familiar. So the first one is the home tab, and then the second one is
Tab bar. Shows. Tab.
shows.
Selected. Shows. Tab. 2 of 5.
All right, so we'll let that come up. And some of the shows that are there, I'll let it speak for itself. I'll grab the first one.
Frontline. Button.
Frontline,
PBS NewsHour. Button.
PBS News Hour, and then I'll do another
24.
one.
Amanpour and Company.
Amanpour and Company,
Washington Week. Button.
Washington Week. And if you watch PBS, these titles will be very recognizable to you because
Yeah,
they go
They
on.
are.
Yes. All right, so and these are just, this is the second tab, shows, and there's a lot more than that. I just did the first 4. I don't want to bore you with 10 of them or 20. So let's go to the third tab. That's going to be a search.
Tab bar. Search. Text field. Is editing.
So let's say you want to see shows about, I don't know, like blindness, what's near and dear to our hearts. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dictate that in there. So let me see what it finds. Blindness.
Inserted blindness. Search. Search. Independent lens. Blind love. Episode 3.
So there's a couple of results down here.
American. Isaac Woodard. Spanish. Independent lens. Blind love. Episode. Independent lens. Is dating different when you're blind? Blind love app. 1.
So there's a lot of titles there.
Special. 8.
So that's great to get something that you're really interested in, see if there's a show for it on PBS. And then,
Tab bar. My list. Tab.
so your list, you would mark things that you like and they go on your list, and it's like a favorites kind of thing. And then the last tab is the station that you're affiliated with, I think.
My station.
My station.
AZPM. Selected.
So I'm on AZPM because when I installed the app, it said, oh, you're in Tucson. So your nearest affiliate is AZPM, but you could change the affiliate to any affiliate anywhere. You could do it from New York, and then you get very New York specific stuff. If there's anything specific in that area that's being shown, you could see that stuff. And that's what this is. So it's a very good app, all free, all interesting stuff. If you really like public broadcasting, you're very happy.
Okay, Manny, what I liked about it is you go along the tabs, they have a sample of the shows. So for example, the Antique Roadshow, they have 4 or 5 of them right under that, and you can pick the one you want.
Yeah, let's
Kind
go.
of like the highlight. Or if you want to see Find Your Roots
Getting not
or American Masters. And then one of the tabs was Women's History, and it came up with all these wonderful biographies about all these women history. And I
That's
listened to Marian Anderson. She was the first one on the list. So that's why I like it. If you want to hear about nature, it has nature or Nova or whatever it is that you like. You just keep tabbing in and it's already in that category.
Yeah, it's a very, very good app, and I love the content. I've been playing with it for a few days now since Barbara told me about it, and I'm hooked. I'm hooked. So I hope you guys try it out. I think you'll really like it, and you get a
Wow,
lot.
and it's free. Most streaming apps are not free.
That's true. That's the other benefit of that. So, any questions about that? Oh, and it's called PBS Video, by the way, in the App Store, just so you know. Of course, the notes that I publish will have all of this stated clearly. Well,
Hello?
as clear as I.
Yes.
This meeting is being recorded by
No, thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna go.
Oh, Joe Moore's sister. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
Did you want me to wait, Barbara?
No, I got to mute. Keep
Oh.
going.
Add library page. Actions.
Okay.
Calendar, Tuesday.
The next thing I wanted to show you on your iPhone or on your iPad is you have this page that's one page past your last page. I have 4 pages, I think. And on the 5th page, they have a thing called the app library page. Very interesting page. So you use 3, if you have VoiceOver on, you use 3 fingers and you swipe to the left and it'll come up at the very end. So I'm going to do that.
Square, page 2 of 4. Page 3 of 4. My page 4 of 4.
If I do this
WhatsApp.
now, I'm going to go to the app
Double
library.
tap, showing app library. App library.
So you're
Search
probably wondering, why do I need an app library? Well, what it is it takes your apps and it categorizes them. And then you can also get to an alphabetized list of your apps all in one screen. So for example, I'm just going to put my finger, I can kind of see these icons a little bit, which is good. If I put my icon on a group of icons over here, let's see what it says there.
Suggestions. Notes.
Okay.
Double tap tool. Settings. App library. Search recently added. Recently added folder. 11 apps.
Okay, recently added.
Double tap social.
Social apps, there's TikTok, there's
Facebook.
Facebook.
Double tap productivity and finance. Mail.
Productivity
No
and
unread emails.
finance, there's mail, there's
Double Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo Bank,
Double contacts.
contacts, and so on and so forth. Here's another one down here.
Utilities. Safari.
Utility, Safari, magnifier.
Magnifier.
Now, if I want to get an alphabetized list, I go to the very top,
App library. Search field.
search field, then I do a 3-finger swipe down, I think. Let me see, or up. One of the 2.
Suggest. App library. Search field.
Okay. And then what happens, it brings up an alphabetized list. If I go through my apps,
Amazing.
Amazing,
Amazon.
Amazon,
Amazon Alexa. Amazon Music. Amazon Alexa. Amazon App Store.
now you see A to Z. So it's an easy way to find an app if you want to do it this way, if you're not going to use Siri just to open it or whatnot. It's a great feature of your phone. So any questions on the app library page? How to get to it or anything? Okay.
Suggestions.
Now the other page on your phone,
WhatsApp.
the other page on your phone that's before the first page, that's the day. I don't know if you guys have ever messed with that. We're gonna go there.
Page 3 of 4.
So we go home.
Home. Calendar.
So from the home screen,
March 15.
you're gonna swipe to the right with 3 fingers and you're gonna get the today view.
Showing today view. Music. Widget. Stack. Hair of the dog. Nazareth. Button.
So there's a
Outline.
song that I played before, it brought it up. It's specific to me. So there's a song, let's see what's down in this other part here.
Calendar. Widget. Tuesday. Wednesday. March 16th. Renee Yang.
So I got an appointment with Renee
Actions
Yang
available.
tomorrow. And
Weather. Widget.
weather.
Tucson. 74 degrees.
So it's
High
real
of 80
cold in Tucson, 74
Low of
degrees.
39 degrees.
And then down here we have,
News. The Wall Street Journal. Russia bombards Kyiv, European.
so, and I have some of my favorite news outlets giving me some news blurbs. So that's what Today View is. It kind of puts things that the phone thinks that you like and that you've listened to into one page, and it presents it to you so you could, in a quick view, see stuff really quick, your weather, news, appointments, just stuff like that. And a phone upkeeps for you or keeps it up for you. So any questions on that, on the Today View page? So remember, to get to that page, from your home
Manny,
screen,
you're echoing terribly.
am I?
Yeah, for me you are. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm hearing it.
I don't know how to fix that, to be perfectly honest. I hope, does everybody hear me echoing?
Sometimes, not now.
All right, well, I need to look into that. I'm sorry about that, everybody. I'm not trying to echo. So to finish the last point, remember to get to the Today View screen, you go to the home screen using the home gesture, and then you just take 3 fingers and swipe to the right. If you're going to get to the app library screen that I just mentioned, you're going to go to your very last screen, whatever, you got 4 of them, and then you swipe one more time after it, and then your app library screen comes up. They're like 2 bookends to your screens. Okay, and that's what that is, the phone. Let me see here.
7:46.
Okay.
Yes, directions. Actions available.
All right, so I want to talk about GPS directions and routes. So when the application that goes with your GPS on your phone, when you're getting directions, it's called Maps. And when you want to get walking directions, it gives you slightly different directions and slightly tighter, meaning it tells you when to turn in steps or a number of feet. Where in a car, it'll say take the next left or right or whatever it is. I used to use walking directions to get to students' homes when I did more home visits, and I was finding their house for the first time. I was by myself, and it worked great. And I would just listen to it, even with all the noise and everything. I had an earphone, and it would tell me in 100 feet, turn left, or walk for a half a block. It'll tell you all that stuff. And then of course, driving directions, it just does turn by turn directions. And there's a button in the Maps program that says route. So let's say that you want to get directions from where you're currently at to
7:48 p.m.
the nearest Home Depot, let's say.
Safari.
What you would do is you would tell Siri directions to Home Depot, and then it would then figure out, if you do directions, it's going to give you the driving directions. That's by default. It's going to figure out the shortest path or the best path to Home Depot. And then you could go and click on this thing called a route button. If you swipe on the screen, it'll get down to route, and you tap on that, and it'll do the step by step, or the turn by turn in this case, route. It'll say go 3 miles here, and then when you get there, turn left and go half a mile down there, and then do a U-turn over there, and it'll give you the step by step thing. Now, when you're in the car and you're getting directions, it knows where you're at, it knows where you're going, and so when you get to the next turn, it'll tell you take a right, or turn right at the next light, or the next street, or turn right on Alvernon, or whatever it is, and then it'll direct you right there. So one thing that it doesn't do, when I've used the walking directions, there's a Kohl's store over on Broadway and Pantano, but it's set real far in. I mean, even with low vision, you can't even see the front of the store until you're right on it. And I was having difficulty even walking directions. So it doesn't work very, very well, or I didn't work very, very well, one of the two, but it did get me close, and it did let me know when I was close to the place. Actually, when we were walking, we did find it using that, but we had to use a little bit of our own mental abilities beyond the GPS. Sometimes it doesn't get us right there all the time. So that's the difference between the two directions. There's walking and there's driving. Any questions about GPS?
Maddie, one question. It's Maggie.
Yeah.
Mine sometimes I'll ask it for walking directions, and it seems to be stuck on wanting me to be driving. I have difficulty sometimes getting it to do the walking.
So what you do is when you ask it, because you're using Siri, correct? Or are you tapping on the map?
Right.
Okay. So
No, I'm using Siri.
just be sure when you ask Siri for directions that you include the walking directions, walking keyword all the time. And when you do that, unless it's broken, it should give you directions that are tailored for walking and not tailored for a car. And
Because
hopefully that'll work.
sometimes I get that, and sometimes I don't. And is it the way I'm asking?
Could be that, could be a lot of noise around you if you're out and about walking, could be car noise and then maybe it missed a word. And that's happened to me too. And so that's the environmental issues there. But yeah. And again, you know, when you give Siri commands, you know, always just try your best to be as clear and as slow as you can with her without her stopping you. But you know, that's like speaking to a child, like I said before. You got to dictate slower than you would a regular person, you know, to accommodate for its, you know, its lack of understanding you at a faster pace. So anyway, long story short, yeah, it's probably just try repeating it again, and then if you're hearing the directions correctly, then you probably got everything okay when you spoke to it. So yeah. All right. Well, if that's it for that, let's see what else we got here.
iNote app. Actions available.
Okay, so there's an app that Barbara turned me on to called iNote. And that app, let me open that up. Hey Siri, open iNote.
iNote.
Now this app is real simple. You open it up, there's no buttons to press. There's no menus to click on. It's just a big viewfinder, which I kind of like. But it only does one thing and one thing only. It recognizes currency. So I'm going to find my $1,000 bill here. Let me see, where is it at? Well, at least I hope it says it's a $1,000 bill. Let's see what it says. Well,
They don't make that.
before I start the recognition, the cool thing about this app is that it not only recognizes the currency and the denomination, but it tells you if you're looking at the front of the bill or the back of the bill. So in the camera's view, for you low vision people who can see, there is a $1 bill that I hoped was 1,000, but I think it's a 1. Might be a 5, but I think it's a 1. I don't know if that's front or back, and there's the other side. So what I'm going to do is I got the app going. I'm going to stick the bill down there and see what it tells me. So let's take a listen. Anytime now. Let's try that again. Hang on.
Calendar. Tuesday. March apps with iNote. Closing iNote.
Let me close some of these apps. So
Closing PBS video in setting. Closing
Try that again.
settings. Calendar.
hey Siri, open iNote. All right, so we'll put something in front of it right away.
It's too high of an amount.
That's what it is. There's
Yeah.
something going on with my phone because it says $1, but it's not saying it. So I don't know if it's voiceover messing up or what's going on. So it says $1 US, and I'm looking at it front. It says it on there for the people can see it. It says
Yeah.
in the middle of the screen. So let me turn the thing over and see if it does the back. And I'm doing it.
Double tap it and see if it will do it.
Yeah, let me try that. Well, this worked better before. It talked and everything. So
It works perfectly. I use
yeah.
it.
So when it's working and my phone is not having a fit or whatever it's going on, it you can see where it recognized that if it says $1, it says front, and then on the other side of it, it says USD. I could see that. It's pretty big, but VoiceOver is not saying it for some reason. Let me just
Wow.
Is voiceover still on?
turn VoiceOver off.
VoiceOver. Okay, VoiceOver is now.
Now I'm going to turn it back on again and see if it resets it properly or something. Hey Siri, turn VoiceOver on.
Okay, VoiceOver is now on.
Let's see now. No, yes, yes, no.
iNode. No speak. Zoom. Zoom lens. Stop. Button. Stop.
All right, well, it's not speaking, but it is showing the banner. And it does say $1 US, and it says back, and that's what was pointing. So this is a VoiceOver thing, or my phone needs to be reset, but trust me, it works.
Works perfectly, but I wasn't using voiceover. Turn voiceover off and try it.
I did that, and let me see.
Did you try? You didn't try it though.
I didn't try it without VoiceOver on. Maybe there's a conflict here. So let's see. Yeah, you're right. Hey Siri, turn VoiceOver off.
Okay. I turned.
So let's try it again. I'll turn it around the other way. Let's see what it says. It says front, but it's not saying anything. So I don't know.
It worked perfectly for me when I used it.
Yeah, and it worked before class, so
Yeah.
when for me, it's always in front of a lot of people and go on YouTube and everything. So,
I had a washing machine like that.
but it does work. Trust me, folks. All right. Hey Siri. No, Siri's not working. Maybe it's my phone.
You turned VoiceOver off.
I did to try to get it to recognize. Okay.
iNode. Calendar.
Okay, there it is.
Tuesday.
Okay.
March 15th.
Oh, well, that wasn't my best demonstration, but it was fun. So anyway, let's see what else we got. So any questions on iNote and how it doesn't work?
It doesn't read 1,000. I know that.
I know that. Probably got confused when I said look for $1,000. Let's see here.
Zero song. Actions available.
Oh, this is a cool one. So have you guys ever used your phone to recognize songs that are playing? Well,
Yes.
No.
so what happens is I'm going to get my friend Glenn here to start playing music, and then I'm going to ask Siri to tell me what that song is. So let me see if I can find.
App switcher. Mail.
Let's
Active.
see. I want mail.
Phone. Active.
What
Swipe
phone?
up the messages. Active. Amazon Music.
There
Active.
it is. That's the one.
Amazon Music. Amazon Music.
I'm going to play a
Play.
song by Glenn Miller. Let's see what it comes out.
Play. Pause. Button.
You guys hear that?
Yeah.
I think that's In the Mood, but I want to see if Siri can figure it out.
To open.
Hey Siri, what song's playing?
Hang on. Let me listen. Sounds like you're listening to In the Mood by Glenn Miller.
Yay, you got it. Yay.
Dinner, chicken dinner. So it works with any song that's out there. I'm partial to Glenn Miller. So anyway, so there it is. That's the one thing. Any questions about the song
Tuesday.
stuff? That was a quick little show thing. So, but you can do that for any song, anything that's playing. If it can recognize it, it'll tell you who it is and the song name.
App
Do you
switcher.
just invoke Siri on that?
Yeah, so what I did, I don't know if it came out on your end okay. I started the song, I started playing the song, and then I asked Siri while the song was playing, I said, hey, what song is playing? And then she said, let me listen. And then she takes about 5-10 seconds to listen to it. And then she gives me the title of the song and the artist back. And in this particular example, it was Glenn Miller, In the Mood.
You had it playing on another device, not on the phone.
That's right. I have I remember that phone I was talking about before, the iPhone SE 2020 or SE2, whatever. That's this guy right here. And that's the one I have all my notes on, and that's how I keep track of where I'm at in the class. But I thought I'd have it play some music. It's doing double duty tonight, working hard. So,
But it recognizes things off the radio or, you know,
yes,
the A lady.
yeah, A lady. So if you're playing something on A lady, well, actually, you would ask her for it, or maybe if she's just playing a bunch of stuff, you can say, "Hey, what song is that?" Well, you can ask the A lady too, what song's currently playing, and she'll tell you. But if you wanted to use your phone, you could recognize the song that way as well.
Mhm.
So
Amazon Music.
If I'm playing music, Manny, on the phone, can I invoke Siri and say, "What is this?"
well, on the same phone, that would be probably
Yeah,
hard.
like if I turn on iHeartRadio.
You know, I've never tried it on the same phone. I don't think Siri will hear you if you're playing music. I mean, we could try it.
She wouldn't hear the music if you have her going.
Yeah.
Would you?
You can't do it on the same phone.
I think what happens is that Siri needs access to the speaker, and if the music's playing, I don't know if the music would stop and then Siri would take over, and then the music would take over after Siri's done, and of course Siri wouldn't be able to hear it. I think it's only
Mhm.
one player at a time on the speaker. And of course Siri would have the microphone on its own, but I think the speaker thing would be a problem. But that's a good question, Maggie. I just don't. I don't think you can do it with one. You can
We
use
got
it to
two
hear something
cameras.
else.
We need two speakers.
Well,
We've got two
there you go.
cameras. We need two speakers. The thing that frustrates me about the television and descriptive video is the fact that if you're watching an old German war movie and they're speaking German, they put subtitles on the bottom, but they don't read them to us. So we can't really enjoy the movie.
Oh, you're
Because the
talking about
Turn on
subtitles,
your translate. Turn on your translate.
I don't know how to do that.
It's just if you push it, and it'll if it's saying it, it'll translate it for you.
that's an
But
idea.
it's on the TV screen. I don't
Yeah,
have that.
No,
I don't have
your
a button
phone
on
does
my
The
phone.
A-Lady would translate.
A
So-
movie that I'm watching on the TV.
Well, she's hearing it.
Translate to German.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'll have to try that. Thank
Try
you.
it and see if it
Sorry,
works.
I
like a whiz.
Huh. So you're saying that the dialogue is in German and the subtitles are
right,
English, but the
and the
subtitles
subtitles are English, but
And-
I can't see them.
and Maggie
Yeah,
suggested
but you
translate.
what you do with the turn it on. You're listening to the TV. You turn on your translate app, and it gives you a running commentary.
That'd be interesting. I've never tried that.
That'll be fun. Thank you.
There you go, Nancy. There's something for you. Report back to us how that worked.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Jawohl.
Message content. GPS
Well, it works like a whiz because it's coming, particularly if you like I have trouble because of not hearing well, and if I put my Bluetooth in, it's picking up without a lot of that. So if the movie is going along, and it's a running commentary, everything that's said, where subtitles are just by themselves. This picks up everything that's said.
Oh. I've never thought of doing that. I don't see why it wouldn't work. Huh.
I mean,
I'm lazy. I
drives,
look the easiest.
it drives me crazy that they give subtitles, but that isn't part of the audio track. It just
Right.
seems like half a loaf.
You know what I discovered, Nancy? And Patty, you may be able to help me on this. Like when Patty turns on voiceover on her phone or voice view on the Fire TV, it reads those subtitles. I think. Are you there, Patty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
does
does.
do that? So I don't know what kind of TV you have, Nancy, but maybe if you turn on the screen reader, whatever, the voice view or voiceover, whatever it is on your TV, if there is something, it might.
I'll have to look.
Yeah. Do you have a Fire TV?
Let's-
What do you have?
No, I don't have a.
Okay, well, let me see what we're doing.
So Manny, my TV
I
isn't,
hit the.
yeah, mine isn't smart. It's just the regular one, so I have to do it off the phone.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's another way. If you have a smart TV, there might be an accessibility screen reader that will read those textual screen elements to you. Because I know on Patty's it does that. And we have to even turn it off sometimes because it just gets in the way of the dialogue, you know. So let me see here.
I have never observed a screen reader per se on the LG accessibility place.
Okay. It's probably only on Fire TVs and like that. Yeah, it's really a big thing on those TVs.
Fire TV and what other accessory has that?
What did you say again? I'm sorry, I broke up.
Fire
there.
TV has it. Does Roku or anything else have that?
I believe so. Roku and
Check Roku.
one and
Otherwise, you can get an Amazon Fire Stick.
Fire Stick, yes.
It's only $14, $15 and turn your TV
Oh, wow.
into a smart TV.
Yeah, that's true. Very good,
It'll
Barbara.
work with the smart TV. Then I'll order one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Send her the
Thank
link.
you.
And when you get it, Nancy, give me a
March
call.
15th.
Give me a
Okay.
call. And I can help you,
Double
but
tap to open.
it's called Voice View. That's the name
Okay.
of the technology that we're talking about. So
What fun. And I use YouTube frequently to learn how to do things that I don't know how to do.
yes, it's a very good resource.
And I subscribed to YouTube TV 2 years. I think it's 2 years ago. I cut the cord with Cox Cable because they were getting too greedy.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how much they charge people.
Well, when they got to 235 and wanted 265, I said bye-bye.
Yeah, Patty and I, we've been doing that for years now. We cut the cord and we're not even looking back. We don't miss it anymore. Because when you first do it, you think, oh my gosh, all my shows, but you really don't miss it after a while because you get all your shows another way. So
And I've got unlimited DVR with YouTube TV.
that's good. That's good. Well, very good. Well, if there's no more questions about that, let me see what's next on the list here.
8:09 p.m.
Open my phone up here.
Calendar.
It's over
Tuesday,
here.
March 15th.
Okay, so there's a voice recorder that works a little bit better than the one that comes with the iPhone, believe it or not. In fact, I use that one on the iPhone all the time, and I might switch to this one. And
Yeah,
it's
well, the one you're using is voice memos.
That's right. That's right. I use a thing called voice memos. It comes built into your phone when you get it, your iPad. And it's just a hokey kind of thing, a hokey interface. I can't think of a better word for it. And this one is just a straightforward thing. So without further ado, let me open it up and we can play around with it. So hey Siri, open Easy Note.
Sorry, I didn't see any matching items about Easy.
What's it called again?
Easy voice recorder.
Thank you, Barbara. Hey Siri, Open Easy Voice Recorder.
Easy voice recorder. Record. Heading.
So it comes up, and if you can visualize the interface, it's very simple. It's just got one or two things on top, and then it's already got the next recording ready to go for you, meaning that
Smoothest dog in the world.
ready to go. And all you got to do is find the button,
Record.
the record button, and then I'm just going to record something crazy and then see how it plays it back. So what I do is I press the record button like this, double tap with one finger.
Record. Pause. Button.
Hello, this is Manny. And if you can hear this, you're too close.
Resume.
And what it does while I'm recording, if you're a visual person, it shows you the waveform of your voice, just not a big deal. And then what's good about this that I like is if I want to add to that, I can then hit the resume button, which was the record button. It's now resume. If I do that, I can add more onto the end of it. So let me do that.
Resume. Button. Resume.
Oh yeah,
Pause.
this is the second part of that recording after I hit the resume button.
Resume.
So that's really cool if you want to stop the recording and then continue recording, not just have to stop and then start a new one every time. And then when you're done with it, you have two options here. Let me see what it says.
Cancel. Button.
So you can cancel that recording, or you can
Stop. Button.
hit the stop button to terminate the recording, and then of course it automatically saves it. So let me do that.
Stop. Record. Heading.
Okay. So now it just goes right back to the same thing where you can record more. So if you want to see the recordings, they're going to be on a different tab. So the tab we're in is the very first one, and it's called
Tab bar. Selected. Record.
Record. Okay.
1 of 3. Listen. Tab.
And then the
2
next
of 3.
tab is called Listen, which these are great names because they're self-explanatory. We don't have to figure them out. So go to Listen.
So pretty.
And I have, and it gives you a list, and that's all that's on the screen. It's just got, if I do a screen read, you can hear what it says, right?
Listen. Heading. Edit. Button. Recording to M4A. Today at 8:11 p.m. 109.
Okay, so that's the one we just did. Now there's a menu.
Actions available.
It's called when it first records it, it gives it a default name. So here's the name of it.
Recording to M4A.
So recording to M4A. So in English, that's just saying it recorded it to a M4A file, which is just a file type like a doc.doc, but this one's called .m4a. And that's why they put that text in there. But of course, we're not going to keep that. We're going to want to change that. So there's a more option on here. Let's see here.
Menu. Button.
Menu option. And this
Actions
is
available.
why this one is better than the other one, because renaming the one over in the video or the voice memos on the Apple product is a real kludgy kind of thing, and sometimes it doesn't take if you don't do the order right or if you move off the screen. This one, if you want to rename it, you just press on this menu thing.
Menu. Menu alert. Recording to M4A.
So it gives a title of it, and then you can do these things here.
Delete. Button.
Get rid of it, delete it.
Rename.
You can rename it.
Share. Button.
Share, if you like it and you want to share it with Nancy, you could tap on that. Then you can go to the share menu and pick Nancy, and then she'll get the audio file that you just did. Let me see what.
Button.
And now for the paid version of this, I don't know. I think there's a paid version, and that's where the transcription comes in. If I tap on that, I think it's going to ask me to get the paid version, or is going to be a limitation on the transcription. And that's how these guys make money. So what I want to do is I want to rename it. So let me go back up that list.
Share. Rename. Button.
Now what's good about this is I tap on rename.
Alert. Rename.
So and I get on the field that where it is. So I'm going to swipe to the right.
Text field is editing. Recording 2. Insertion point at end.
So it's called recording
Use the
2
rotor to access.
because I did a recording 1 before the class to be sure this thing works and doesn't embarrass me like the other app did. So let's see. I'm just going to use the backspace to backspace that out. I'm going to do that now.
2. Stay. Cap R.
And then I'll just dictate the new name in. TSB Zoom class demo.
Insert a TSB Zoom class demo.
And then of course I can
Cancel.
that name or I can
Rename.
rename it.
Button. Menu. Button.
Now when I go back up or when I
Actions
swipe
available.
to the left,
Menu. TSB Zoom class demo. M4A.
and it's real simple and they're just in a big list for you to use. And there's a settings thing too. You can adjust the quality but what comes out of the box is pretty good and they're pretty small, tight files. So it's a very good little app and I'm really impressed with it. And in fact, I might be using this app more than the built-in app. So thank you, Barbara, for turning me on to this. And I'm glad I got
Hey,
it.
Manny.
Yes.
Patty, I have a question. Can you go back and add to the note that you did?
You know, I don't know. No, I don't. Let me, good question. I never tried that. Let me see.
Menu. Button. Menu alert. TSB Zoom.
So if I
edit
can do it,
sound.
it'll be in this menu here. Because let me go.
Delete. Button. Rename. Share. Transcribe. Edit.
So let's see what
Button.
edit does.
Cancel. Button.
So
Play. Button.
I can play it, rewind,
Fast
forward,
forward. Change playback speed.
change the speed.
Edit cut. Button. Edit trim. Button.
You can trim out space. I don't think you can do that, Patty. I think once you commit it from the first screen, it's done. That'd be nice to actually be able to add to it. I think that's a great idea, but I don't think you can do it here. It
Okay.
just has the normal kind of controls. So like the trim thing, if you start recording and there's a lot of space up front or at the end, it can actually trim that space off and just give you a very tight file. That's what this is about here. But no, I don't think so. No, I don't think you can go back after you commit the first save. It doesn't allow you to go back into it. Okay, let's see.
Cancel.
We're going to cancel this.
Menu. Button.
So yeah, I definitely recommend that. A good free app. We could try transcribing it. I don't know. Let's give it a shot.
Menu. Button. Alert. TSB transcribe.
So there's a transcribe option there. Let's see what happens. I think if when I did this before, it gave me like a little thing, like a warning or telling me I need to buy it or something.
Transcribe. Alert. Easy Voice Recorder would like to access speech recognition. Speech data from this app will be sent to Apple to process your requests. This will don't allow. Okay.
So you gotta allow that. Let's do that.
Order. Share. Dimmed. Button.
Oh, and it's transcribing it. So this one isn't the one that had the restrictions.
Share.
All right.
Button.
So it's done. It just did it. Let's see what it says. See how close it is. I can see some text there, but who knows what it's going to say.
I know this is Manny, and if you could hear this, you're too close. So yeah, this is the second part of that recording after I hit the resume button.
Wow, that's pretty good. Not bad. Not bad for free. Thank you, Patty, for asking us questions. That was good. Okay.
Manny,
Yes.
Miss Annie, I have a question off the subject or sort of. You're
Yes.
using the second phone. Are you using that on Wi-Fi or does it have telephone capabilities?
Oh, my second phone currently does not have a SIM card, so it's using Wi-Fi.
Oh,
But
okay.
it does everything but place my calls. It can do everything this phone does, my first phone. Like if this one went south, like I said before, all I have to do is go to AT&T and have them throw a chip into that one, and I'm good to go. They're mirrored on the same iCloud account, so
Oh.
I I could take this one, I could drop this one, pick this one up and not miss a beat. That's why I have it, just in case
Sure,
something.
I'm thinking of that. So you're not paying then on the AT&T account for
Oh,
the
no,
phone?
no. Just, I'm paying for the one account, one
Right.
SIM card. This is just like a little tablet for me, except it doesn't make phone calls, but it does everything the iPhone does. It's the SE, the older one.
Yeah. I was thinking while you were talking and about the new SE that I wonder if they're reducing the SE2
Ah,
way down like they do the older
Very-
models. And that would make a
I would
handy
look at that.
recorder.
I think Apple does do something. Now, when they reduce it, they're not going to take like 30% off, but they might take 10% off. That's still something at $400 because these were $400.
On the newer models of phone, they take quite a bit off, but they cost a lot more too.
Yeah, I would imagine if you're getting a brand new phone that's never been opened before from Apple or somewhere, they'll reduce it just to get rid of it. I don't think they have a problem getting rid of iPhones. I think everybody wants them
Oh, no.
bad. And last I checked, I looked at this stat. There's over how much, between 2 and 3 billion iPhones in the world, just iPhones
Hmm.
only. Like half the population of the earth could have an iPhone, one each. So
No, I have a Kindle I use as my book reader from Bard, and it's old and I have to reset it quite a bit. So I think it's about 6 years old. So I've been thinking about if I get another phone, then I could use the old one like you're doing. But instead of buying a Kindle, which is under $100, maybe I could get the SE model.
yeah, I bought this one straight from Apple here in town. And what was great about that, I'm not trying to toot their horn, they make enough money, but they took the order online because it was during COVID when I bought this. And then I paid $9 for shipping. And the guy brought it right to my door in this beautiful little Apple bag it was like a little pretty thing, but brought it right to me in 2 hours from the Apple store right here. But it was really nice. So I didn't have to wait days for it or this and that, That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So easy note, yes.
Ideas.
Yes. So let me see if I have anything else on my list here.
Sharing data.
Oh, sharing data. Yes, I wanted to go over that. So most of your apps on your phone, including this Easy Note data, has a share option. So if I wanted to share information, you can share anything on your phone, basically. You can share a contact name, you can share a picture that you took, a video that you took, a recording that you made, a note that you wrote down. Anything you can think of that you do on your phone will have a share option, okay? And that's how you get data from your device to somewhere else or across applications. It's called the share thing. So since we have this easy note, easy voice thing opened up, why don't I try to share this recording with somebody? So let me see here.
TSB Zoom class demo. M4A.
So I'm gonna go in
Today
there,
at 8:11 p.m. Menu.
go in the menu.
Men alert. TSB Zoom transcribe. Share. Button.
All right, so we're gonna try the share option. Let's see what that comes up with.
Renee Yank. TSB Zoom class demo. Audio recording. 196 kilobytes.
Okay, so
Heading.
typically your share options come up if someone is in range of you and they have an iDevice, like an iPad or an iPhone. You can do what's called an AirDrop, which is a direct send to them. And I think we talked about that before. It's a very quick way to get large files, bigger files to people around you. You can also send it through texting, but you have a certain number of megabytes limit, which we're well under with this recording. But if you start sending videos, you'll fall into a problem there because they'll probably stop something that's too big. So anyway, let's see what we got here.
Renee Yank. Messages. Lupita Hernan. Chica Green. Messages.
So if I send this to Chica Green, which is a code name for Patty, I'm going to press on that and it's going to send her a text message with this recording attached. So I'm going to do that.
Chica Green. Text field is editing. New line. Insertion point.
So I'm now in text messages, and it put it in as an attachment, just like when you send a contact to somebody, it sends like a little V card attachment that you then incorporate into your own contacts. Well, she's going to get this, and then she can play it right off her phone if she wanted to. So if I send that,
Send button. Send message.
and then
Edit.
that's how you
button.
share. And the share options on your phone allow you to share it with other people, other devices. There's a big list there, and it tries to put stuff at the top that you do the most of. Let's say that Barbara shares a lot of stuff with Ann. Well, her name's going to be at the very top. It'll say you want to share it with Ann via text or mail or whatever, and you can just tap on that, and then it'll automatically share it with whoever you tap on. So sharing is real fun to do, real important to get data around, especially contacts and things of that nature.
So if you keep going, Manny, the next one is mail.
Yes, there's mail. So let's pretend I wanted to share it again. I'm not going to share it again, but let's look at some of the share options. You're right. So let's do that.
TSB Zoom menu. Button. Alert.
Share.
Share. Button. Chica Green. TSB Zoom.
Isn't that funny? Now Chica Green is on top because I just shared something with her. Now she floated to the top. So it's always trying to put the people that you do the most with on top.
With the
So,
recent person, yeah.
What's that?
It's the recent person that you just share with. Is on
Right.
top.
That's right.
Chica
So
Green.
let's see.
AirDrop. Button.
So you have people on the first line, and in the second line, you have the apps that you can use to share it with. So AirDrop, like I said before, is a direct drop to somebody in your vicinity, and it does it very fast. And then you have messages.
Mail.
And then you have
Button.
mail, like Barbara was saying. So I could tap on mail. It'll create a brand new email, a draft, and then I can put who it's going to and then the subject. This thing will be attached. This particular data that I'm sharing, this recording. So, and let's see what else we have here just for fun.
Voice memos. Button.
So you can share.
TSB Zoom class demo.
You can share it with other apps. So voice memos in this app use the same file format. So if I want to send it over to voice memo so I can play it over there, that's what this does. Let's see if there's anything else.
Voice notes. Button.
Well, and notes is an all-encompassing thing. So you can scan documents and notes. Your notes can have file attachments, audio attachments. So I could send it to a note, it'll create a note and put an audio attachment on it and to be ready to go. So let's see what else.
Amazon Alexa.
I don't know what that does. I guess it sends it to Alexa to play. Oh, sorry. I hope I didn't trigger devices here. It sends it to the A-Lady to play for you. I guess that's what that does. It streams it to your A-Lady device and then it plays the recording.
Day one. Button.
So day one, there it is. So when you install apps that allow that kind of data, day one is on here. I could send it to day one and it'll put it into my journal, to my day, whatever day it is. It'll ask me, of course.
My cloud. Button.
My cloud is my drive, so we just keep going.
WhatsApp. Button.
Social media,
Skype. Messenger. Button.
So these are just all apps that allow that. Now let's look down below if there's anything else that we can.
Copy. Button.
So you can copy it, copy the file like you would like in Windows where you do Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste. You can copy that to something else.
Share file in iCloud. Button. Add tags. Button.
Anyway, there's a lot of stuff here. I don't know what the add tags does. I think it's just a way of categorizing it. But you see what share does. It really opens up the world for your data to go out or data to come into your phone from somebody else. So,
Mary, how when you send an AirDrop, is there a limitation on how far that will go?
I think I don't know. I think it's like 30 or it's either 30 or 300 feet. It's one of those. So it's a big difference, I know, but it's got to be in the vicinity. I got a feeling it's probably 30 to 50 feet, maybe something. It's got to be
Okay.
around. Yeah. If it's somebody across town, no way. Or maybe somebody
No,
in your backyard, maybe.
It's to the next room, so it's not that far.
Okay, Barbara, thanks for that. Yeah. And it's really good for big files or, you know, and what happens when you airdrop, you tap on it and then it looks for people in your vicinity. And then you pick that person, they're immediately notified that you want to send them a file and they have to accept. If they accept, then the file goes. If they decline, then it doesn't. So everybody's involved in the process. It's not a, you know, you can't just send it. It's got to be accepted by the receiver. So yeah, that's the way that works.
Thanks.
And that works for all kinds of data. Sorry? Okay. Let's see.
AirPrint. Actions available.
Oh, and then I think somebody asked me about AirPrint. And what that is, AirPrint is the way that your phone can send a print job to your printer. So for your phone to directly print to a printer, it's got to support the AirPrint standard. And the AirPrint standard is just like any other standard, like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. It's just a thing called AirPrint. It's a wireless standard that Apple uses. And the printer has to have that built in, be able to receive a job and transmit back to the phone that it got it over this AirPrint standard. And when that standard is available, when you go to share it with a printer, because you can do that, you can print it, the printer will show up in the list of printers that it found because AirPrint talks to the phone and the phone talks to the AirPrint device. And then you can tap on that printer and then the print job will be sent. Just like you would if you hit print on a computer. It would do the same thing with the phone. So that's what the AirPrint thing is. And that's one of your share options if you can print something. Of course, you can't print an audio file, wouldn't be on here, but if you had a text message that you were sharing or some kind of textual thing or a Pages document or something of that nature, you could easily share it with the printer. No problem there. So if you're looking to print stuff from your phone and you don't have a printer, you got to be sure the printer you get has the ability to support the AirPrint standard. And everybody knows what that is when you talk to them in the store. And it's a very popular thing, just like Bluetooth. And you get that, and then your phone would automatically recognize a printer. My printer here does that. Patty's does that. If Patty has something she wants to print on her phone, she can send it directly to the printer. Doesn't even need a Wi-Fi network. It goes directly to the printer, phone to printer, printer to phone. So it's a good little standard to have. So that's what I have for that. Any questions?
I'm quitting, Manny, and all. I bid you good night.
Okay, good night.
Thanks.
I think that's it. I think I'm done. If there's any questions. How are we doing on time?
8:34 p.m.
Oh, it's 8:34, so.
Good night, everybody. It's Maggie.
Yeah.
Good night.
I guess, John, we
Everybody
can.
going to
night.
bed.
Thank you,
Night.
Manny.
Good night, everybody. Past
Thank
our
you.
bedtime.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, John, are you there? Okay, thank you, sir.